What's dangerous is when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses. There's rules that go with them. You can never take them off. You never see things as they're supposed to be. You see things as they are. You can never force nobody else to wear them.
Things I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. During the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. Yes, I have my doubts, but they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. Roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. And I have my doubt that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. I have my doubts, so I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. That we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts, and I have my doubts that we'll make it back up. Yes, I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night are wearing me out.
Getting old sucks. Oh, good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. I No, I'm filling my e-cig real quick. I know, be prepared in plenty of time, right? Show up early, all that stuff. Right, okay. Anyway, no, I'm bitching about my fingernails. Literally am bitching about my fingernails. Not that I've gone all beta male on you or nothing. Give me a moment. But I'm getting older. So, I've always had hair and nails that women would kill for. Until now. Now my nails just split like all hell all the time. And I guess that's like an age thing. But dude, my nails used to be, I swear to God, they were bulletproof. I mean, I swear. No, they weren't bulletproof, but I mean, it was insane. In fact, for one, I can't cut my nails super short. I'm not one of those kind of people. In fact, if my nail gets all the way to the end of my fingertips get sore. Just the way I've always been. I don't know, I guess some people are that way. I've known a lot of people that chew their nails and they've got like a half an inch of frickin' finger past the tip of their fingernails. Like, how the hell do you even do that? And it's like coming up around the nail. It's like, how the fuck do you... I mean, are you getting in there with a scalpel? I mean, but anyway, not I. And I've always had really super strong nails. And over the past year to 2 years, they split like hell. And it's like, drives me up a wall. I know. It's a serious problem. And in fact, I'm going to beg the FDA to come up with some, I don't know, 4 or 5 word syndrome to, we'll get all kinds of, we'll get our own color, right? We'll have our own color ribbon. That's right. Beta male complex. What color do you think the ribbon ought to be? Coffee. Not for beta males. Nope. It doesn't take 10 words to describe the kind of coffee it is, so it's not beta male coffee. French vanilla Colombian. 3. Anyway. Let's see. I know. Nonsense. Well, now that I've got everything taken care of, I think. Yep, I'm good. Coffee, nicotine. Yep, my ass is still there. We're good. Uh-oh, I didn't do it. It was a weekend. I mean, we're pretty lame, to tell you the truth. Our weekends are much like our weekdays, except I don't do the news. But I don't know, what the hell did I do? Well, we did some cleaning and stuff like that. Jen's dad and niece and his dad's, they got married. His wife were here and visited for a while. They took Jen out and whatnot. And other than that, I did a little bit of flight sim, but not a whole lot. I don't know. Between the cleaning and stuff, and I don't know. It's kind of one of those. It's a commitment when you do it, right? Because I have to go get the flight stick, put it all up on the desk, and I got to put the rudder pedals down at the feet and get the VR headset out and all that. That's why I'm anxious to get myself. I don't know what to call it. A designated spot for doing VR that I can leave all that stuff hooked up. I've got a chair that I rescued from the trash, and I couldn't resist it. It's a gaming chair. It's like a kid's gaming chair that you just put on the living room floor, right? It sets real low and all that, which, this old man ain't doing that shit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some kind of a platform underneath of it to mount it, because it's like you can rock in it. It's not going to be that way when I get done. It will be firm. It'll be fixed. Hopefully I can come up with some type of a locking track system, for like a vehicle's adjustable seat, right? And I know I could use one of those if I had one. I might try to source one. Anywho, the idea is that I come up with some type of mounting system. Probably have to be wood or something similar. Get that seat mounted, and then me, Jane. Well, okay, my name's Mike. Somebody walking by. I don't know if I'd ever seen that person. They went by pretty quick. Yeah, kind of. Our website is not going to be around much longer. On the 29th, our hosting will go up, and I don't have the money to keep our hosting. So once that website's gone, the links that I have posted will be gone. But if you go to the website, if you go to TheWatchmanNews.com, hang on. Yep, you're there. Okay. If you go to TheWatchmanNews.com, on the home page, we've got shirts there, and they're from Teespring. So, like, when you click on one, it just takes you to Teespring. We've got shirts. I think you can get other stuff too that Teespring offers, but that's the only thing that we have really as far as merchandise. And like I say, they'll always be on Teespring. So, like, if it's something you might want to bookmark it, because I don't know when I'll get a website back up. I'm not losing the WatchmanNews.com domain. Oh, you're fine. I'm not losing the WatchmanNews.com domain. I've still got like almost 180 days left on that, and that's no sweat. I'm losing the hosting, and I'm also losing the because we've got a domain, dirtcheappreps.com, and anyway, I'll lose that one. So, but at least I have the WatchmanNews.com. It is what it is. It is what it is. But for right now, you can get to the website, and it's real easy to find the stuff there. Otherwise, I don't know if I've got a link or not in the description. Oh, actually, well, no, because it does a redirect from the website. So yeah, that link would no longer be good. Yep. Let's see. Let me make sure I don't have the. Okay. Yep. So anyway, that would be the story on that. Let's see. Alright, want to make sure I don't close out wrong windows. I was watching videos before I went live. Let's see. So, I was going to talk a little bit about this whole Coup thing. Oh, you're welcome, Angel. I was going to talk about this whole Coup thing. And there is a whole lot of it that is very suspect. I mean, just like from, I don't know, start to finish. Okay, first off, we need to hold up, right? We need to go back a little bit and remember who it is that is leading Russia. His name is Vladimir Putin. And he was literally the guy in the KGB. we can't forget that. This dude is smart. He's not a Joe Biden. Not even remotely. This dude's smart. And I firmly believe that he's not someone to be fucked with. Pardon the language. Sometimes words like that are necessary. And with Putin, I feel that's one of those times. Putin is not a soft man. Putin is patient. Putin is tolerant. But I think that's starting to run a bit short. But let me tell you what I think happened here. I really don't think I've got the tinfoil hat on too tight. I guess it's all a matter of opinion. But I find it awful damned interesting, the timing of the announcements of this oopsie when it came to figuring out the amount of money that we've given Ukraine. Because somehow, I don't know, over the course of two separate events, some $6+ billion was overlooked. Now, I don't know. I believe that part of it, like $2.7 billion or something like that, was previously already re-given to them, right? Re-reparationed, right? I know, right? It just doesn't make sense. But then, of course, we found out that, oopsie, a second time, and there's some 3-point-something billion that, oh, well, we just found this. Hey, we fuck our own infrastructure. Let's give this to Ukraine. All right? The timing is impeccable. The timing is impeccable because we just say, here you go. And next thing you know, like, Prigozhin's like, fuck Putin, right? Riding his horse on to Moscow, right? Fuck Putin, right? And you had people in the streets screaming, the Wagners are coming, the Wagners are coming, right? And it was a nightmare. And, oh, I might be mixing up stories a little bit, sorry. So, anyway, all of a sudden, it's like Wagner pulled on the old e-brake, Prigozhin, to be more exact, pulled on the old e-brake and slid her sideways, right? He looks over at Putin and he goes, psych! Right? I mean, that's what happened. I saw it. I saw it I saw it on the news. Literally said psych, and then like did some donuts and took off to Belarus. Right? I mean, that's pretty much about the way we got the story here. Okay, well maybe I embellished on a little bit of it, but let me ask you this. If you just tried to take Putin's head, don't you think damn well he's gonna take yours? Now, I shouldn't have to Navalny you of anything, do I? I shouldn't, you know? Putin don't screw around. Navalny didn't try to go take his head. But Navalny's day is coming and everybody knows it. As soon as his name's out of the news cycles, good night. Do you really think that Putin's going to be like, Oh, I'm scared, man. Oh, no, go to Belarus. Go to Belarus. Do you really think that's how that played out? Do you really think that Lukashenko, who just took possession, he's already got them, folks, took possession of nuclear weapons from Vladimir Putin? Don't you think that Vladimir Putin would be going full force into Belarus right now to go collect his nuclear toys? If Lukashenko was harboring Prigozhin? See, because it just doesn't seem to me like Putin's got really hard feelings over all this. And I'm having a hard time believing I think that U.S. politicians, one way or another, was working a deal with Prigozhin to commit a coup and to take out Putin. And I firmly believe that from moment one, Putin was told about every single bit of it. I think the U.S. just got at their game. I think Prigozhin pushed and advanced towards Moscow until the check cleared the bank and said, "Oops." I think the United States of America just give Prigozhin several $1 billion and him and Putin are laughing to the bank right now. I could be way wrong. But you try to make any other puzzle pieces fit. Yeah, I think Putin's definitely got a brass pair. By the way. Oh, yeah. I just think he's smart. And you know who I think is smarter than Putin? Z. I would tell Putin, if he were looking for my advice, I guess, I would tell him to be very careful of Z. But I'm sure Putin knows that. I'm sure Putin knows that. And I'm not saying that there's anything between them bad now. But when the United States gets knocked off the mountain, who's next? I'll tell you what. Out of all the nations on the planet, the one that I think should be most feared, without a doubt, China. I mean, I'm not talking about anything to do with communism. I'm not talking about anything to do with a lot of the way that they do things in their culture. Some of their culture is beautiful. But they can be some awfully cutthroat people. especially when it involves people from anywhere else. You have to be careful. You know, when I started getting involved in the vaping stuff, there were several people that said, hey, be careful. Because this stuff was just starting in the United States, and it's not like I could go to U.S. distributors, right, and order my stuff because there really wasn't any. So you had to order stuff from China. And let me tell you what, there's a hell of a lot of scam artists out there. A lot of them. And in fact, all you have to do is go to certain types of, like, even groups on Facebook and stuff like that. Groups that, okay, let me give you an idea. One of the groups I'm in is, it's a group that people experiment with 18650 batteries. People make all kinds of things, power packs and all that stuff. Kind of a cool group. But it's not uncommon when you join a group like that you'll get a bunch of cats hitting you in private message telling you about some super battery deal they've got for you. And a lot of times you get the hell scammed out of you. So, gotta be careful with that stuff. But we're getting off topic here. Personally, though, my opinion, I think that's what happened. I think that Prigozhin was bribed. Well, they attempted to bribe him. I think he played the game until the check cleared, so to speak. And then they're laughing their asses off right now. I firmly believe that. I firmly believe that. I can't help what them dumbasses do. But, I've got flags catching my coffee. I can't have that nonsense. I do got some articles. Actually, quite a few for Sunday. I've got 8 open. And the first, I know 2, possibly 3, have to do with the coup. I think a lot of it supports the puzzle pieces that I entered onto the table. But you decide for yourself. Firstly, U.S. knew of Wagner coup plans in advance. Now, this isn't coming from, Moscow. This is coming from the New York Times. U.S. intelligence agencies strongly suspected that Evgeny, I don't know how his first name said for sure, probably Evgeny Prigozhin, was planning a major move against the Russian government days before the Wagner chief ordered his troops to march on Moscow, the New York Times reported on Saturday, citing sources. According to unnamed U.S. officials interviewed by the paper, the administration of U.S. President Joe Biden and military commanders were briefed on the Wagner preparations as early as Wednesday as additional details came in. Another briefing attended by a narrow group of congressional leaders was reportedly held on Thursday. The situation escalated only on Friday night when Prigozhin accused the Russian Defense Ministry of launching a deadly missile attack on Wagner camp and vowed retaliation. The ministry denied the allegation, accusing him of an informational provocation. In the following hours, Wagner troops captured military facilities in the southern Russian city of Rostov-on-Don, while Prigozhin announced that his forces were beginning a march for justice with a plan to reach Moscow. On Saturday, the Wagner boss agreed to halt his advance and withdraw his forces in exchange for security guarantees as part of a deal brokered by Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko. According to New York Times sources, prior to the uprising, Washington officials were in no hurry to alert Russian President Vladimir Putin of an impending threat, as they feared that Moscow could accuse them of orchestrating a coup. Moreover, the U.S. had little interest in helping Putin amid the Ukraine conflict and Russia's standoff with the West, the article says. What's that? Oh. Let's see. What do you mean, hang on. Kevin, what do you mean by the weeded out? I'm trying to see what you're, I don't want to miss, oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, here we go. Still, U.S. officials were reportedly alarmed by a possible conflict between Prigozhin and Moscow as they worried that Russia's descent into chaos could create considerable nuclear risks. A New York Times report was echoed by CNN, which claimed on Saturday that U.S. officials had believed Prigozhin was planning to challenge the Russian military for quite some time, but did not know what his ultimate goal was. I'm telling you, they damn well knew all about it. And the U.S. got. What happens when you have a Ben and Jerry's president? And Vucic, the Serbian president, says foreign powers were involved in the coup attempt. This article goes on to say foreign intelligence services likely played a role in the failed Wagner PMC coup attempt in Russia on Saturday, Serbian President Alexander Vucic has claimed. Russian President Vladimir Putin described the mutineers as traitors whose actions could play into the hands of Moscow's adversaries. In an interview with Serbia's Pink TV channel on Sunday, Pink TV, okay, Vucic stressed that Belgrade does not support coups in other countries as a matter of principle. We didn't support it in Turkey or Russia. We wouldn't support it in America either, the official explained, adding that governments should be changed in elections by the will of the citizens. The Serbian head of state went on to say, I don't want to say who was involved from the outside, but have no doubts. Vucic cited foreign services without, however, going into further detail or providing any proof. He said the masterminds behind the failed coup attempt had devised a sly tactic which included attacking the Russian president without saying directly that the effort was actually directed at him. The official also claimed that some of the grievances voiced by the mutineers, especially those involving allegations of corruption, were legitimate. However, whatever these may be, they are still not a reason to stab your country in the back, he emphasized. The Serbian president added that some forces, which he stopped short of specifying, had high expectations of the Wagner PMC insurrection. Vucic praised Putin's handling of the crisis, saying that it was ended thanks to his sharp and strong reaction. Addressing the nation on Saturday, Putin characterized the armed mutiny as a betrayal and a knife in the back of Russia and its people. At a time when the country is waging a tough struggle for its future, he said, any strife might be used by enemies to subvert us from within. Meanwhile, Politico reported on Saturday that American officials viewed the events in Russia as opening a window of opportunity for the Ukrainian counteroffensive. You know, the one that they've been failing at for over a month. Yeah, that one. And in fact, speaking of the animal, Ukrainian attacks repelled in Donbass and Zaporozhye, says Russian military. And this isn't like something that happened 2 weeks ago. This is new stuff. Well, not new as in, but new as in last night. Attempts to advance by Ukrainian forces have been thwarted in Russia's Donetsk People's Republic and Zaporozhye region, the Vostok combat group of the Russian military has said. An attack was repelled near the village of Makarovka in the southern part of the Donetsk People's Republic, the group's spokesman Oleg Chekhov told RIA Novosti on Sunday. A tank, several armored vehicles, and personnel have been destroyed, Chekhov said, adding that Ukrainian troops had retreated after sustaining those losses. Russian artillery also hit the positions of Kiev's forces near the village of Novodonetskoye. I'm only doing that once, because I probably couldn't repeat it. And personnel and armored vehicles, according to the spokesman. Another attempt to advance by Kiev troops. Damn, my mouth even, like my tongue hurts from trying to say that. Thanks, Russia. Thanks, Russia. You gave me tongue lash. I'm gonna sue. Let's see. A force about the size of a company tried moving forward in the area but had to turn back after some of its tanks, armored vehicles, and troops were hit, he reported. 3 Ukrainian howitzers and a number of armored vehicles have also been destroyed in artillery and airstrikes in other parts of the Zaporozhye region, he added. In Ukraine's Kharkov region, Russian helicopter gunships carried out 11 missile and bomb attacks against the positions of Kiev forces near the town of Kupiansk, Russia's Zapad, or West Combat Group, said on Sunday. Artillery strikes thwarted Ukrainian attempts to rotate its troops around the settlements of, and Sinkovka, and that's that one I'm not saying again. The losses to its military as a result of the bombardment amounted to more than 1 platoon, the Zapad group said. Nah. I was just trying to debate in my mind whether or not I missed the COVID days when I actually knew how to pronounce the shit. Nah. Oh, man. Let's see. Insanity. And I don't mean to come off like Captain Obvious or nothing, but Ukraine counteroffensive expectations were, well, overestimated, says Kiev. You think? A little? Just a little. Expected results from Kiev's ongoing counteroffensive against Russia have been overestimated, Ukraine's Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov has claimed. The offensive by Ukrainian forces should be treated as some kind of preparatory operation rather than a decisive battle, he added. That was practice. That was practice. Just hang on. We're gonna really do it. Just give us a moment. It was practice, right? Some kind of preparatory operation. Practice. Oh, you can't make this stuff up. Reznikov gave an interview to Fox News, which was published on Sunday, in which he insisted Kiev had never planned the offensive to be a blitzkrieg. No, because when you go in to kill the enemy, when you go in to be a massive force to be reckoned with, to just wipe out the enemy's front line, you don't want to have a blitzkrieg. You might offend somebody, right? You make sure that before you shoot them in the face, you use the proper pronouns, right? Fuck you, he, him, her, right? And then you blow his face off, right? That's, make sure you do that. That's, if you don't, man, you're going to have the Geneva Convention all up your asshole with the ACLU. it's going to be a nightmare. There won't be enough lawyers on the planet to help you. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm embellishing again. Okay. It's practice. It was practice. I feel bad. I'm laughing. And we're talking about war here. We're talking about loss of human life. And that's a very serious thing. But what are these people thinking? I guess goes on and says it's some kind of preparatory operation, shape operation certainly, and we understand that they use very strong defense lines, especially minefields, Reznikov said, adding that the expectation was overestimated for the Ukrainian counteroffensive plan. Oh, we didn't think they had mines. Shit. We thought about the Zircon missiles. We had those on our list. We were taking care of that. You know, we had their choppers. We had all their jets. Those are all taken care of. We forgot about the damn mines. We forgot. I'm sorry. Oh, I see words like meat grinder. Let's read on. At the same time, the minister insisted the stall effort was the next step to victory. Reznikov also claimed that Kiev has been very careful in deploying its troops onto the battlefield and has been doing its best to save their lives, alleging that Moscow has been using its forces as a meat grinder. The minister also, the minister also expressed confidence this year will be a game changer when the ongoing conflict, yet urged the public not to expect a decisive victory stemming from the ongoing push. Just give us a minute. We're practicing. All right, we're sorry, guys, we were practicing with you. But the next guys, the guys that are training right now, they're the real deal, right? These guys, we got it figured out now. The people of these nations need to take the leadership of these countries and burn them at the stake. I didn't stutter. Drunken Ukrainian intel operatives beat general, says media. I don't know what the hell is wrong in the Ukrainian military. I don't know why they can't get their poop in a group. I mean, you tell them to push forward and then your intel guy's beating the shit out of the general. Holy hell. You got mercenaries going all rogue on you. Oh, wait, no, that's the other side. Sorry. Sorry. I'm telling you, it's hard to keep this shit straight, because I keep thinking this is an old comic book that I never read before. Oh, yeah. Cats went out to a restaurant and got drunk and beat the hell out of one another. That's pretty much the summary of the story here. So, pretty much sums it up. TLDR, or whatever the hell. Right on. I hear you there on that, Kevin. Absolutely. I don't know if anybody remembers me talking about this study, but one of these studies, I talked about one of these studies one day on the show. And it was a study that I looked at the data and I'm like, that is nowhere near correct. Not even close. And hell, I might have even made it its own separate video. I don't know. Maybe if I remember, I'll try to find it. But, I said there's no way that data's correct. Because I know for a fact that a hell of a lot more people than that lie on a daily basis. I'm telling you, there are people out there, you can believe it or not, doesn't matter, there are people out there that are human lie detectors. And they can smell a lie a mile away. And they've learned throughout their life not to sit there and call out every single lie, because holy hell. There's another important lesson in life. Pick your battles wisely. Right? Well, I knew that data was way wrong. Way, way wrong. And, well, guess what? You aren't going to believe this, but the scientists lied about the honesty study. I'm not kidding you. It's made up. It was made up. And I may have even said that I suspected, or I may have flat out said, that shit's made up. Because I knew those numbers were so far wrong. I mean, it was more or less saying that most people were relatively honest. Maybe 30 years ago? Maybe 30 years ago. Okay, you have to understand, this means everything. Even the memes you share, even the rumors about this politician, that politician, what. Everything is on you to verify. That's on you. So you might share a meme that's got a list of a bunch of stuff on it supporting a particular position on something, and just have one of those things wrong, and that is a lie. Plain and simple. You probably don't think nothing of it. Click that share button. No big deal. Father would beg to differ. It's a lie. Plain and simple. Not any less of a lie. It's a lie. And when you take that into consideration, that's what I'm saying. They're lies. There's like, you know, I get a lot of people that will try to debate that, and there is no black, there is no gray when it comes to lies. It's either truthful or it's not. We are responsible. The Father doesn't tell us that we can just cop out and say, well, I didn't know, I was told. That ain't good enough. That information came from your lips and went into somebody else's ear. And if you caused them to fall, that's on you. Just saying. I take that stuff very seriously. It's one of the reasons why I kind of avoid public, I avoid social situations, I stay the fuck away. Why? Choose my battles wisely, and I have a hard time doing it, and I have no problem calling out bullshit. None. And not, I mean, I'm right in people's faces. I'll call their shit out. So I choose to stay home and stay the fuck away from people. I'm not going to sit there. Lying is one of the biggest forms of disrespect you can do to another individual. Yeah, that's how serious I take it. I don't like beating dead horses, but let's not forget, I haven't seen my children since 2014 because of a fucking liar. I'm done with it. So I stay my ass out of public. Because I cannot keep my mouth shut. I won't keep my mouth shut. I hate liars. They're despicable. Scum of the earth. Sorry. Had a little personal rant, but there's some wounds that'll probably never heal. Anyway, these bastards lied about it. Just like I expected. And we wonder why we can't get anywhere. That's why I come down that like I do on partisan individuals, both the right and the left. Because the most important thing that either one of them can be doing right now is putting themselves in check. The first side that puts themselves in check and acts like rational human beings, it's probably the side that's going to get control for a considerable amount of time. But at this point in time, both the right and the left is pushing full extremist ahead. So it is what it is. Oh, yeah. Along those lines, UN releases online hate speech guide. And here I went and ranted about the ACLU. Hell, let's drag some unions in it too, damn it. Let's see. United Nations has taken to Twitter in a new campaign to battle speech that it finds objectionable. Well, I'm offended by that. Urging social media users to push back against hateful content and report offenders to police and other authorities in extreme cases. He called me a bitch. Well, maybe you should stop being a bitch. Oh, anyway, hate speech can take many different forms, the UN said on Sunday. But no matter what it looks like, hate speech has real consequences. And lots of tears. The tweet linked to a guide on steps that the UN recommends for taking action against offensive speech. Yeah, grow a pair. Grow a pair. 3 words, GAP, right? GAP. It's got its own acronym, GAP. Grow a pair. The global organization didn't spell out what constitutes hate speech. Well, no. It's kind of like the left and women. They really can't tell you what it is, but they can't tell you what it ain't either, right? It can sometimes be hard to assess when a comment is meant as hate speech, especially when expressed in the virtual world, the tutorial said. It can also feel overwhelming to try to deal with this obviously hateful content. I'm just trying to put a little emotion in the article. The UN has previously defined hate speech as offensive discourse targeting a group or an individual based on inherent characteristics. Yeah, so, okay, whatever. Such as race, religion, or gender. You don't say. Can we talk about family courts now in the United States of America, please? Not just, by the way, don't mean to throw you brothers and sisters under the bus over there across the pond. You've got issues with the same thing. Can we talk about the family court system? Because, yeah. Remember what I said earlier about burning at the stake? How long do you think wood should cure for a barbecue like that? Just wondering. Do you use pine, stuff that'll go up really quick? Or do you want to use hardwood? So it's like, it just coalesces, right? So like, it just slowly builds coals and yeah, I like that better. Oak. Yeah. Desert ironwood. Alright, let's see how slow we can get that sucker to go. Sorry, daydreaming again. So this is the last one I have open, by the way. Email from Hillary Clinton. It says the drone's on its way. Oh, okay. Kidding. What's that beeping noise? Alright, Blinken backs Biden's branding a Z as dictator. A dictator! Dictator to most of us is something totally different to Biden. A dictator to Biden, well, we won't go there. It involves hairy legs and showers. But Blinken backs Biden's branding a Z as dictator. Not two separate words, dictator. Anyway, if you recall, when this cat was over there in China, he was well, he didn't have a choice but to kiss Z's ass. Let's be honest. Because do you remember what happened in Alaska right after Biden took the helm? I do. And Blinken got bitch slapped by Z. Pretty much the same thing. Pretty much the same thing. And Blinken just bent over and took it like the beta male he is. And then came back home and bent over for Biden. Now he's now he agrees with Biden that he's a dictator. Even though when he was there, he didn't agree with Biden. Funny how that works. Anyway, wanted to show that. We are to headlines. Of course, we have them all the way from Friday since we're off a couple of days. That way, we make sure you understand what leads up to the nonsense. I've been really enjoying the hell out of flying the Mooney lately. The Mooney Ovation. That is a gorgeous plane. God, I love that plane. She's not a rocket or anything like that. Kind of like a little Corvette. Not necessarily in its performance, although that one's modified. It's a turbocharged variant of a Mooney Ovation 20R. But it's a pretty sweet ride. Anyway. I've actually got quite a few hours in that at this point. I don't know. It's just, like I say, it's a very comfortable little plane. I don't know. Sounds weird when you're flying it on a computer, but it is. Oh, man. I'm working on the paint job on that, by the way. I did not do that. That is a paint that somebody else did that they uploaded to flightsim.to. I did not do this paint job, although I don't know what's up, but his file doesn't work. So I actually had to go in and do some finagling to get this texture going for me. And then now that I got it going for me, I was trying to edit and change some colors. Namely, turquoise ain't going nowhere. Namely the gray, I was going to try to turn into electric blue. And the black striping, all the black accents, right, and the lettering, I was going to try to put in Aurora pink. And it would have been gorgeous. But I could not make it happen. And I don't know if it'll show up or not. All I can do is try. You can't see that. Let's see if you can see this. I don't think that's coming up at all. Hang on. Give me just a second. I'll show you. I hope, anyway. Image size, %. Let's add a 0. Gonna pixelate a little bit, but that's okay. Otherwise, you won't see it. Save as a copy. A JPEG to the desktop. Save. Yeah, whatever, go. Close. No, don't save that. Alright. There we go. So that's the turquoise color there. This is electric blue. And if you did not know, that is Aurora pink. Aurora pink is my favorite color. I'm serious, by the way. Favorite color of all time. Right there. Aurora pink. But I really like it mixed in with either a turquoise or a neon green and an electric blue. Ah, yes. Let's see. Baba Blackstreet. I have no idea what the actor's name was. Was that like Ernest Borgnine or something? I didn't watch a lot of that stuff. Let's see. Nicotine. You know what I mean? Probably not. Alright, let's do some headline to get the hell out of here. You people are probably like, man, I wish this guy would just quit and do his job. I know. Oh yeah, I'm actually pardon me. Okay, I think I vaped entirely too much. I'm actually subbed to Adapt 2030. Let's see. Okay, starting with Friday's news. Cluster bombs are useful for Ukraine, says the Pentagon. Well, yeah, but aren't they kind of banned by the Geneva Convention? There is that matter of business. Let's see. Florida sues U.S. Department of Education. Ah, that must be the actor's name. Thank you, Citric 2. Let's see. U.S. Oh, I covered that. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. U.S. intelligence warns of North Korean nuclear coercion. Let's see. Pakistan notes growing economic ties with Russia. Biden dashes UK minister's hopes for NATO top job, says Telegraph. Russia blasts crazy U.S. resolution on nuclear weapons. Video allegedly shows Ukrainian armored vehicle obliterated while evacuating. Rising prices continue to wallop British wallets. Israel warns of Ukraine weapons spillover. EU targets RT and latest sanctions. Smugglers of radioactive isotope busted, says FSB. International Boxing Association expelled from Olympic movement. And I normally don't share sports. My apologies. Once in a while, sports does kind of go over into news. That I don't necessarily consider one of those times. But once in a while, I just absent-mindedly share one out like this one. EU member needs Moscow to keep its metro running. Russia builds world's most powerful rocket engine. Ukrainian energy giant sues Russia in U.S. court. Well, good luck with that. Ukraine's F-16 timeline revealed, says Politico. You know, the F-16s that we weren't going to give them. They've got a timeline for those now. Ukraine could get nukes in the near future, says ex-Zelensky aide. I read that and I'm like, I do think, regardless of all the backpedaling and nonsense you hear coming out of their faces, I do think that Ukraine's going to get like really, really fast-tracked into NATO. If they don't get like stomped beforehand, they're going to get fast-tracked into NATO, and there's going to be nuclear weapons moved in there so fast your head is spin. I don't know. Like I always say, the only thing we can do is get ready for it. That's all we can do. We can't sit there and pick any one particular thing and say, oh, this is what's going to happen, because none of us know. None of us know. All we can do is do our best to look at the data, try to discern what of that data is true and what's not, and then try to get a little bit ahead of it to understand where it's going to go. That's all we can do. And then we could be wrong about the whole damn kit and caboodle. So that's why, I'm not a fence setter. But I'm also not somebody that'll sit there and throw everything in one place and say, oh, that's it, I'm not moving it anywhere. No, I don't have a mindset like that at all. If new data provides new evidence of a new situation on whatever subject, I'm going to definitely take that in and go with the data. I have no choice, in my opinion. Anything else would be not logical. I've always loved science, and there's particular procedure. That procedure is there for a reason. If we treated news like that, information, data gathering, like we treat science, or like we're supposed to treat science, You look at news in a whole different way. Let's see. Kiev blames West for counteroffensive failures. Yeah, it's totally our fault. We should have gave them $60 billion instead. Our fault. Sorry. Macron says he's ready to talk to Putin. Okay. Well, duly noted. Brits stealing meat, sweets, and booze amid cost of living crisis, says a survey. German-made Ukrainian tank apparently stuck in mud caught on camera. And a real counteroffensive yet to begin, says Ukrainian commander. Okay, dude, just tell us when. Russia praises Obama's words on Crimea. British media glosses over Ukrainian soldiers' use of anti-gay slur. Yeah, you would think the leftist media would be all over that, but no. No. Actual neo-Nazis and homophobic people and, the real nasty people, they get a break. It's not their fault. They're victims. As long as they're over there, they're victims. Now you bring them over here and they're evil. You see how that works? Musk's mom tries to cancel cage fight. She's worried about her little E1. She don't want him to get bruised in the faces. In a hurt. And you quiet. Well, facts are facts, and it doesn't give a shit about feelings. And I have to say that if this happens, Zuckerberg is gonna stomp Musk's ass. I mean, it's not even gonna be a good show. I mean, it's gonna be like a good night. That's pretty much all this is gonna be. Do I want it to be that way? No, it'd be cool. It would be really, really cool to watch Musk just wipe the frickin' floor with old Beta Boy. But there's this reality thing, and the only way that's going to happen is if Musk sneaks in a big lead pipe or some shit like that. And even then, I'm not quite so sure he's got it. Because I know a little bit about martial arts, and yeah, if somebody's truly studied it, don't want to fuck with them. Probably not. And from my understanding, Zuckerberg is a formidable weapon. From my understanding, he's very healthy. He's very physically fit, and he's very good at jiu-jitsu. It is what it is. Doesn't mean he's any less of a piece of shit, but he's a piece of shit that can kick ass, that's for sure. NATO must urgently protect Kosovo Serbs, says Belgrade. Moscow responds to accusations of destabilizing Africa. Germany losing Russian markets. Leading U.S. school shutdown advocate rewarded with Homeland Security role. Moscow responds to 11th round of EU sanctions. Germany seals long-term energy deal with the U.S. Russia ramps up combat dolphin patrols off Crimea, British spies claim. Let's see. Biden assesses impact of calling Z a dictator. Zelensky may sacrifice all of Europe, says Russian envoy. Starbucks workers to strike over Pride Month policy. A Wagner chief spreads misinformation, says Ministry of Defense. Ukraine strikes 2 cities in Kherson region, says authorities. U.S. charges Chinese companies in fentanyl sting. A Bud Light maker excoriated for a customer mocking ad. Let's see. White House stonewalls reporters on Biden corruption. FSB opens criminal case after Wagner boss calls for armed rebellion. FDIC accidentally reveals bailout recipients, says Bloomberg. Zelensky prepares ground to delay presidential election. Top Russian general sends message to Wagner amid calls for armed rebellion. UK's Prince Harry wanted to interview Putin, says Bloomberg. And Ukraine's counteroffensive is suicidal, says Moscow. Pretty much. Ukraine attempts to retake Artemovsk after Prigozhin's provocation, says Ministry of Defense. And Bakhmut, I think, is the other name that's called, that I can actually think. At least I can bullshit myself into thinking I know how to pronounce Bakhmut. So that I can't even lie to myself on that. Seoul blocks North Korean propaganda. Wagner's PMC armed coup attempt in Russia. All the latest news. That was like a live link where you could keep updated on it. That's why I showed it out. U.S. intelligence issues COVID origins report. What about all the trouble that everybody got into for, I don't know, telling the truth? Let's see. Of course, you know about the whole mutiny. Prosecutors push to delay Trump trial. Oh, this is yesterday's news. Yay, starting on yesterday's news. Coffee and nicotine. Yippee-yay. Alright. Yesterday's news. Prosecutors put... Oh, I already said that one. Tanks on streets amid Wagner coup attempt in Russia. InfoWars host pleads guilty in Capitol riot case. Putin briefed on attempted Wagner insurrection, says Kremlin. Millions of Brits could see savings wiped out, says a study. France sliding into recession, says data. MOD warns Wagner fighters against taking part in armed coup. We will defend our country from treason, says Putin. Credit card debt soaring in Russia. Well, yeah, Wagner. I mean, they didn't have the cash for the fuel and stuff, so they just put it on the card. Biden rival backs Bitcoin. You know, the card that went to the bank that the United States put billions of dollars in that one. No excuse for Wagner mutiny, says Chechen leader. Oh, Biden rival backs Bitcoin. That would mean JFK Jr. Yeah. They never say his name. Do you notice that? They always just say rival. It's like he doesn't even have a name. It's like Robert Kennedy Jr., yo? Have you ever heard the name? Maybe. Yeah, but they don't put it. It's always rival. I wonder why. No excuse for Oh, I already said that one. British buyers' remorse over Brexit growing, says a poll. Well, that's because you guys have screwed it up the entire way on purpose so that people would be against it. That was kind of the whole point of all the bullshit you've done the past several years, was to make people think it was a bad idea, so they beg for you to come back and save the day. If I've got that wrong over there in the UK, you let me know, but I'm pretty sure your government works a whole hell of a lot like ours does. Washington refuses to back Kiev's nuclear terrorism claims. A blast near military headquarters in southern Russia. It was Oprah Winfrey. She went and visited. She farted. And that sent alarms going off across the country. I don't know if they were short on ammo or not. I honestly don't know. I mean, I would imagine at some point they would be, because they were getting their ammo from Russia. So, I would imagine. I mean, they wouldn't have had any kind of a supply line. I'm really not buying the official story here. Oops. I don't think China would help Wagner. I think China would help Putin before they would help Wagner. But I most certainly think China is definitely kicking in to help out. Let's see. National unity paramount amid Wagner insurrection. Danish beer giant sells assets in Russia. Yeah, you know, and we can all sit here and speculate on what we think happened. I could be as far off as it gets. I am sure that Putin is probably doing everything he can to grow eyes on the back of his head. Because I will say this. Oh, I agree with you there that they need to watch their end from the Chinese. Oh yeah, big time. Big time. And that's what I was saying earlier. Z concerns me a whole hell of a lot more than Putin. And I'm not saying Putin's a great guy and that we ought to trust him. I'm saying that Z concerns me more than Putin. And a lot of that stems from the cultures. And I know some people would think, well, yeah, Putin's a product of communist Russia. You know, the USSR. He was KGB. And that's correct. I still don't think that the USSR mindset is nearly as cutthroat as the Chinese mindset. Not even close. Not even close. I think if you put what was the guy's name? Mao? You put Mao, Hitler, and I don't know, Stalin, something like that, all in a room. I guarantee you Mao's going to be the one walking out with both their heads on a pike. Guaranteed. Yeah, Pol Pot. There you go. Yep, another one. Yep. They some serious people. All Asians. You know, and I'm not saying that as in like you. No, all Asians. They're a force to be reckoned with. They always have been. Vietnam, yo. Korea, yo. I mean, they are a force to be reckoned with. That is who I fear having to go to combat with over any other nationality or whatever. And again, it's their culture. We are not cut like that anymore. Not even close. We aren't even cut like the Russians. I couldn't tell you what we're cut like. We're cut like the Americans. I think we're a new breed, really. Seriously, I do. I think we are a new breed of culture. One hell of an experiment from our forefathers, wasn't it? Not even quite sure what part of it was the experiment. We could all speculate. Maybe it's a whole melting pot thing. Maybe that was the experiment, to see how the melting pot turned out. I don't know, but it seemed a little bit to me like somebody fucked up the witch's stew. It's crazy. It really is. Let's see. Russian helicopters battle Wagner mercenaries rolling toward Moscow. White House evades question on Ukrainian counteroffensive. Oh, without a doubt, modern-day Babylon. Or Sodom and Gomorrah. Either one. Western nations respond to Wagner coup attempt in Russia. Ukrainian officials jubilant over coup attempt in Russia. Wagner agrees to end insurrection, says Lukashenko. I mean, that was like really quick. Wagner boss confirms cancellation of advance on Moscow. Told you, he looked at Putin and he said, psych. Russia issues warning to the West amid Wagner rebellion. Let's see. Russia and U.S. nearly had major conflict in Syria, says media. Kremlin reveals details of Wagner deal. U.S. Marine Corps may soon be leaderless. We could argue that it's been that way for a little while at least. Well, U.S. delays Wagner sanctions after insurrection, says Wall Street Journal. Top U.S. general cancels trip due to Russia revolt, says AFP. Privacy backlash halts Amazon project, says Politico. Trump cautions those rooting for a Russian coup. Putin discusses attempted rebellion with Erdogan. Yay, we are to today's news. Means I get more coffee. The rest of my coffee, to be exact. U.S. believes coup attempt in Russia an opportunity for Kiev, says Politico. Russia piling up forex reserves. Eurozone business activity slumps. Lavrov discusses Wagner revolt with Iranian counterpart. Bitcoin price hits one-year high. Putin victorious after Wagner insurrection, says Maduro. Trump reveals stance on indictments. Russia to develop domestic workhorse airliner. Turkey inches closer to rational economic policies. Germans forced to scrimp on food, says a survey. Israeli authorities vow to tackle Jewish terrorism. I'm sure they'll get right on that. Train with chemicals slides into Montana River. We didn't cover that earlier because, well, everybody and their brother covered it. Musk's Zuckerberg cage fight could become biggest earner in history, says UFC. Ukraine accuses Israel of choosing Russia's side. A co-author of Russian Constitution dies. News agency names only European country with falling food prices. That would be Russia. EU launches crisis measures to save winemakers. Let's see. Covered all those. I covered a ton in a row. Trump's 2024 lead widens after latest indictment. Lukashenko may take part in future peace talks, says top Ukrainian official. U.S. assesses implications of Wagner revolt. Black hole in our galaxy is not dormant, says a study. That hoe, she ain't done yet. The article says, man, they thought that hoe was done, and then that hoe just opened up and just swallowed everything around it. And then bitch went back to sleep. I don't know, man. Space is some funky shit. Blinken backs Biden's branding of I covered that one. Ukraine counteroffensive expectations overestimated. I covered that one too. Damn, I suck. Israel to reprimand Ukraine. Covered that. United Nations employees accused of drug smuggling. Say it ain't so. Zelensky demands more pressure on Moscow. The coup wasn't enough. Dozens detained at LGBTQ event in Turkey. Huh. Imagine that. I wonder how that's going over there. Huh. I wonder if they're going to go somewhere like Iran next. That's what they need to do. They need to take, like, a huge, like, you know how they did, like, the Million Man March and all that stuff? That's what they need to do, right? They need to get all these people together, right, that support LGBTQ, and they need to go to Iran and tell them all about it. Educate them on diversity. And let us know how that works out. Make sure you take a comfy pillow, because that's a real long nap. Anyway. Howdy, dear. I am going to get out of here and go to bed. Tomorrow, I'll wake up and do the same shit all over again. Yay! All right, I am out of here. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. I appreciate you coming. I double appreciate you putting up with my nonsense, because it's some pretty big nonsense. And I hope to see you again tomorrow for some more punishment. All right, hope you all have a good one. As always, God bless you. We love you. Be one with your spirit. And shalom.